Hello everyone, welcome back. We're on, actually what part are we on? 7? Maybe. Oosh! Oh, he's going to say stuff. Ah. Oh, okay, he's saying the same thing as that other guy in the termite tower. So yeah. Hey, そのパンツいいな。どこでゲットしたんだい? So yeah. Okay, here we have Mambo no Jumon Yowaku Naru. Your Y is weak. Basically, it's an E adjective meaning weak. And you can just attach the verb naru, meaning to become, to it, to its adverb form. And it means, obviously, to become weak. So, yeah, Yowaku Naru means, yeah, to become weak. And he's talking about his spell. Mumbo's incantation or Mumbo's spell or Mumbo's magic becomes weak. Or will become weak. Oh. Okay. Okay. Kochi ni modoranai to kikime kirete shimau. That's interesting. So kochi is this way. Ni is the particle, isn't it? The preposition, basically. So to this way or to here. Modoranai is the negative of modoru, meaning to come back or to go back. Yeah, to come back or go back. Yeah, it's intransitive. So things can come back of their own accord, but when you put something else back, you modosu it. So we have to say modoru here because we are kind of opting to go back to where he is. And then to, again, that's like a conditional, isn't it? Like not come back to this way and, or again, if you don't come back this way. Kikime must be effect. I don't really know why met is on it. Let's just have a look. Kikime. Oh yeah. Yeah. No, yeah. Just means effect, yeah. Effect, virtue, efficacy. I don't know. I don't know why Kiki isn't just fine though. Unless it kind of is, but kikime is just better. I don't know. But this is a verb usually. Kiku, meaning to affect something. So I figure to make it into a noun, you could just say kiki and use the stem of the verb. But I don't know, kikimet. He's opted for kikimet. So I guess it must be better. And then kideru. Okay, kideru is to like, yeah, to cease, to cut off. I think, yeah, kideru, I believe. And so you use the te form with shimao to show that it's undesirable. Kidete shimao. It will undesirably cease because, you know, we probably don't want that to happen. Oof, almost. So, Jumon no kikime kireta. So, yeah, magic's effect has ceased. Kuma to tori no sugata ni modotte shimau. Kuma is bear. To is like and, basically. Kuma and tori, so bear and bird. Not sugata. Sugata is like a form, or like a... yeah, it's basically a form. It's one's form. Yeah, I think that's almost enough. One's form or shape. And then ni just sort of acting as a preposition, so to the form of the bear and bird, and then modotte shimau, go back to undesirably, because again, like, yeah, we probably don't want to be bear and bird, we probably want to remain as the termites. Let's go. Kore wa onpu door desu. So this, a note door. Guranchilda no mahou de lock sarete imasu. So lock, sorry, lock is just lock. And then we have sa le lu, which is the passive of suru. So quite simply, suru can mean that something just like is a certain way or has a trait or has a certain quality or something. Um, so I suppose in this case it's kind of like it is being locked. No, not is being locked. It just it is locked, or it. Oh no, I suppose maybe it is in a state of having been locked, which kind of yeah. I don't know. That kind of works. Kind of works with suru. Um, and then we have Guranchiruda no Maho de. So due to Gruntilda's magic, it's being locked or it is locked. And then Ja Megane-kun ni wa akerarenai no. Um, Ja just being like so. I think I think that works best probably. So, um, and then Niwa. This is kind of like I suppose you could see it as like two glasses boy. I suppose it's four glasses boy actually, but yeah, it's kind of four glasses boy. This kind of just brings up bottles. The knee wa kind of brings up bottles as a specific case of whether something is possible or not possible for him. And then we have akeru, which means to open, and it's been conjugated into ake lale lu, which is to be able to open. It's the potential form. And then it's also been conjugated to negative. So it's ake lale nai, which is to not be able to open. So it's negative potential form. And then no, just sort of, inquisiting, inquisitivizing, inquiring, just being inquisitive, basically. Yeah. So can't you open it? Kind of is the translation. And then sonna ni kantan ni wa akanai no desu. Um, yeah, so this is a bit different. This is like the negative of aku, which is too open, kind of like I suppose like of its own accord in a way. Like I suppose you might be able to think of like automatic doors in like a supermarket, right? Automatic doors, when you approach them, they open kind of like on their own. Like you didn't open it yourself. You didn't force it open physically. You didn't push it open. They opened, and that's kind of what aku is, I suppose. It's that the door will not open is basically what it's saying. Um, so, or rather, it does not open. Uh, that that simply is kind of the translation there. Kantan is simple. Sonnani means to that extent or in that way. Um, and yeah, as I said, akanai is to not open. So they don't, or it doesn't open that simply, or it doesn't open, that easily or whatever. And then kono doa wo akeru tame ni wa. So this door, or rather, yeah, it's kind of like for the purpose, akeru tame ni wa, or in order to, I suppose maybe you could see this as. Tame has a few uses, I suppose. It's like for the sake of, for the purpose of, or yeah, like I said, in this case, maybe in order to. Yeah, yeah, maybe in order to open this door. Onpu o atsumeru hitsuyo ga arimasu. So atsumeru is to gather things, to collect things. Um, yeah, and onpu, as we've said, is like the musical notes. And then hitsuyo is like a requirement. It's kind of a noun, I think, hitsuyo. So this is like, yeah, is it? guess it is actually. Yeah, I guess it's a noun. In this case, it's definitely a noun because it's saying hitsuyo, which is like a need or a requirement or a necessity, and then ga arimasu, meaning to exist. So there exists a necessity or a requirement to gather notes in order to open this door. Obviously, very kind of robotic sounding in English, but very, yeah, natural in Japanese. And then ikutsu irun desu ka? Ikutsu is basically how many. Uh, yeah, simple as that. Ikutsu is how many. And then iru in this case is the verb to need. Usually, iru, I say usually, iru is has the same reading for two verbs, kind of. Iru to be and iru to need. And honestly, they're probably inflected differently, so I'm not really doing a very good job of showing the difference. Um, but they're different verb types, so they conjugate differently. Um, so in this case, the standard form is the same in hiragana, but you can tell obviously by the context. He's saying, how many do we need? He's not saying how many are alive, how many exist. He's saying how many do we need. Yeah. ドアに浮かび上がる数字は魔法の強さなんです。Okay. So on the door, ukabi agaru, I think ukabu is to float, isn't it? Let's just have a look here. I think ukabu is to float. Yeah, okay. So ukabi agaru, yeah, it's just like, okay, I think ukabi agaru is just like to come up on the door. I think so, yeah. Ukabi agaru. And then that's modifying suji, which is a number. Suji. Su meaning number and ji meaning like character or letter. So the number symbols, I suppose you could see as the number letters. Yeah, it's modifying suji. So it's saying the numbers that float up, not float up, the numbers that come up on the door, it's literally backwards to English, which is kind of convenient in a way. At least it shows sort of how you can structure sentences. Maho no tsuyosa nan desu. And that's the magic's strength. Tsuyoi means strong, it's an e adjective. And with e adjectives, if you just change the e for a sa, it makes it into like the amount of that e adjective. So rather than strong, it means strength. And then nan desu just being very sort of explanatory with his language. Kono Gruntilda no Maho, so this Gruntilda's magic. Oh gosh. Yaburu ni wa. Yaburu is to like, to break. Yeah, to break basically, or I suppose to dispel in this case. So what was it? It was Kono Gruntilda no Maho wo yaburu ni wa. So in all, this is like in order to as well. Ni wa. Yeah, I guess for some reason we don't need tame this time. So yeah, in order to break this grunty magic, I suppose is a good translation. Iroiro na stage de no onpu no. So the various stages de no onpu. Okay. No besto kiroku no goukei ga. Oh my gosh, this is getting a bit intense now, Bottles. Keep it easy, mate. Come on. So what was he saying? Is Iroiro na stage de no onpu no besto kiroku no goukei. Oh, goukei is probably total then. I don't recognize it in hiragana. I kind of need kanji. Yeah, okay. Goukei is sum total amount. I'm just a bit confused about why it's de, to be honest. I'd figure いろいろなステージでの音符のベスト記録の合計が something. So it's the various stages, note, best records total. Oh my gosh, it's going on. Dua no suji ijo. Oh my gosh, this is a long sentence. So the doors, numbers, and then ijo is like more than. Yeah, more than, I think. Basically, jo is like up, and e sort of sets like a relative kind of um a relative like baseline or limit or something. Ijo, it's sort of it's a relative marking thing. Really weird. Anyway, let's carry on. See if it makes sense. Yeah, this is done. Hitsuyo ni narimasu. So, oh my gosh, what did he just say to me? So hitsuyo ni narimasu. So yeah, will become. Oh, I guess he said the total goke of your best note record, the Ompu no Besto Kiroku, on the various stages, the Iroiro na stage deno. Yeah, the Goke. Oh my gosh, what happened? The Goke. Ga. So the total of all of your notes, best note scores on all of the worlds. Yeah, okay. So kind of more than the door's number will become the requirement or something like that. Or you will need, I suppose, you will need. Yeah, maybe that's how to translate it. You will be necessary. So yeah, oh my gosh, this is horrible. Your note total on each world will be necessary to be more than the door's number, something like that. Anyway, yeah, I hope we learned at least vocabulary because I'm not doing well with the grammar here. So, oh my gosh. すごい。魔法を覚えたぞ。Um, 覚えたぞ. Is she saying 魔法を覚えたぞ? I don't really know what she's talking about here. She's going like great, isn't that great or amazing? Magic I learned magic, or you learned magic, or he learned magic. I don't know. There's no topic. Oh, okay. Ato de omae ni kakete yaru. So I think she's saying like I remembered magic, or I've learned magic, or I've mastered magic. Um, and then she's saying ato de, which is kind of like later, basically. Omae ni onto you. Kakete yaru, I will kind of cast spells, or I will, you know, um, impact you with my magic. I guess is kind of a safe translation for kakeru. Oh, thank you. Okay, そのドアは簡単に通れたようだが so that door simply 通れる. 通れる, I guess that must be the potential form of toru, which was to pass through. I think Bottles said it to us about going over the bridge to Grunty's lair. He said, Koko torte. So this is the potential form. So I think it's like were able to pass simply that door, so, or simply through that door, pass through, yeah. And then yo means like looks as though, or appears as though, or seems as though. So seems as though you were able to simply pass through that door or pass through that door simply. And then, sorry, danga is like but. At least ga is. これ以上ドアは通れないだろう。Kore in this case is kind of referring to this point in time, and it does have that effect uh, sometimes, or well, quite often, in fact. So kore ijo means like more than this point in time or further on than this point in time. Dua wa the doors torenai to not be able to pass through. And then daro um, again I think is a bit like a slightly more assertive uh, like slightly more assertive ne. So ne checks for agreement like rhetorically, and I think daro sounds a bit more like I might be wrong actually. I might be wrong about that, but it does tend to get used in a kind of a you won't be able to pass through. Will you? A bit more assertive than ne. But, yeah, might be wrong. Let's get this done. Oh, okay. 一度はめ込んだジグソーを外したいときは、okay, yeah. I suppose we want to start here. It's all modifying jigsaw. So it's like jigsaw pieces that you have hammered in, hamekonda, that's past tense, so that you have hammered or put into place or slotted in or whatever. And then ichido is like one time, which actually, yeah, it's one time, but I think it can also mean like sort of temporarily things that you've put in just kind of for the time being or temporarily or yeah, one time or something. So anyway, jigsaws that you have hammered in like temporarily or for the time being. Hazushtai toki wa. So at times when you want to remove them, hazusu is to take out or to loosen or to take off or things like that. And then hazushtai is the desire form of that. So when you want to take them out, si shita, which is see down, botan wo oshite kudasai. So si shita botan wo oshite kudasai. So please, I guess, press the C down button. Okay, でも、ジグソーパネルが一旦完成してしまうと、I don't know why that's undesirable, actually. But oh no, maybe it's not. It might not be. But jigsaw panel, so when the jigsaw panel, itan is like, I think that's like once, as in once you've done this, there's no going back. Once I start doing this, I won't stop. It's that kind of once, I think. So itan kansei shite shimau to. So once you complete it, and yeah, it kind of works in Japanese, I guess. Sounds weird in English, but yeah, kind of once it is complete, and then the toe kind of makes it a conditional, I suppose. Once if you complete it, mo hazusu koto wa dekimasen. So mo in this case is acting as like any more, and then hazusu koto wa dekimasen as negative of the sort of the verbose way to say cannot. So the phenomenon of removing cannot complete is a horrible translation. Oh, what's going on here? Otakara zaku zaku bichi. Okay. So yeah, it's just like Otakara is treasure. Zaku zaku. It sounds like it's just, to me, that just kind of sounds like it's there's so much of this treasure that it's all just sliding off each other. but I might be wrong. I feel like that's just. I'm going to look that up. Zaku Zaku. Oh, okay. Just simply lots of coins or jewels. Walking on frost, so I might not have been that far off, really, because I suppose you know walking on frost would be a bit like walking on loads of coins. They were just kind of crunching together in that kind of way. Mixing gravel. That's Zaku Zaku. So yeah, don't think I was far off really. It's just like treasure-filled beach, I suppose. I suppose we better talk to her. Konnichiwa, Ochibi-chan Tachi. Ochibi-chan Tachi. Chibi sounds like little ones. I think isn't Chibi like a little midget thing or something, or a little baby? I don't know. Let's have a look up. Chibi, small child, pipsqueak, small fry. Oh damn! It is short person, midget, dwarf. Hmm. Wonder if that's offensive. I hope not. Yeah. Okay. Or Chibi Chan Tachi. So yeah, she's calling us, little ones. Watashi wa Buren Chiruda. So I am Brentilda. Guran Chiruda no imoto yo. So Imoto means, younger sister. So Gruntilda's younger sister. Uh, oh my gosh. あなたたちがグランチルダをやっつけるのを助けようと um, yeah, there's going to be more information. But yeah, you guys. No is kind of a nominalizer, so it kind of makes this into a modifiable action. So you can add more verbs to it, I suppose. That's all the no's kind of doing, I believe. So I suppose, kind of the act of, beating Gruntilda, or rather, yeah, the act of you guys beating Gruntilda. I will help. Taskeyo, I will help. Oh, okay. To is just. I suppose To is just taking that whole phrase. Is it taking the whole phrase and making it into the kind of just marking her intent for another action that was done? Maybe. So Taskeyo to. Or maybe. So did she kind of decide to help us beat Gruntilda? And so she decided to do that, and then kossori, which means like stealthily or secretly, nuke dashiteki no. Which I guess is nukeru is kind of like to come out or to pass through something, or dashitekita. So she came kind of, yeah, she came, I don't know, nuke dasu. She came out. It's kind of, it sort of doubles up in English, but yeah, she came out stealthily to help us beat Matilda, and then no at the end again, just sort of giving an explanation of explanatory tone. 今こそ意地悪おばばにお仕置きが必要よ. Koso is kind of like, how have I explained koso in the past? It sort of emphasizes, I suppose it kind of emphasizes the word before it a little bit. Like there's a very common phrase in Japanese where you say kochira koso, and it means this side more so than that side or whatever. But that's very literal. It means Me more than you, and it's usually said when people are thanking each other or whatever. Like someone says thank you to you, and you say like "iya kochira koso" or something. It's like, no, I am the one. This side is the side that should be thanking your side. Kind of emphasizes that. And so I think ima koso is like now more so than any other time. Um, so yeah, now for sure. Now this time. Now more so than ever. Ijiwaru or baba, as we've said, is like a not very pleasant way to talk to refer to old women. Sort of old bag or something. And Ijiwaru is like I think it's like bully, isn't it? It's like she's a bully, right? So she Ijiwarus maybe. Oh, maybe not. Might not be a. No, apparently it's not. Oh no, I'm wrong. Sorry. What am I thinking of then? Ijiwaru. Anyway, malicious, ill-tempered, unkind. It's sort of weird though, because that's not an e-adjective. Sort of an exception word. I don't know. What does it say here? Noun. Adjectival nouns. Hmm, I don't know. Anyway, Ijiwaru or baba ni oshioki. Oshioki is basically a punishment. And then hitsuyo. So a punishment to the sort of ill-tempered old bag is sort of now more than ever required, or a requirement. Yeah, I'm not sure. Hitsuyo, I'm rethinking how Hitsuyo works. I've never really when it's sort of it's fine to use. I know how to use it. It's just when I have to explain it, it makes me question my understanding of it a little bit. I'm just wondering if it's a noun or not. Hitsuyo, I guess it is. Huh. 私はグランチルダーの秘密をたくさん知っているわ。Oh, man, okay. So Gruntilda's himitsu is secrets, and then takusan is lots, and shitte is like in a state of knowing, or I know. You pretty much, yeah, you pretty much, do you? You often use the present continuous form of shiru. Like you kind of have if you know something, you have to say shite iru. You can't say shiru like we would in English. Like in English, we say I know. You have to say like I am knowing in Japanese. Saying shiru doesn't just doesn't work. It's just wrong, basically. Um, yeah. Anyway, and then war at the end for like a feminine um, sending thing. Oh, okay, nearly. Watashi wo mitsuketara B ボタンで話しかけてね. So yeah, if you find me or when you find me, using the B button, hanashi kakete ne, and hanashi kakeru means to begin talking to someone. So it just means talk to me, hit me up, I suppose. Yeah, hanashi kakete ne. And then ne just saying, okay, sort of, won't you? Again, sort of rhetorically seeking agreement. Himitsu wa ikkai ni mitsu zutsu. I don't know why zutsu's there again, to be honest. Oshiete ageru wa. So the secrets, obviously marked with a topic, so it's like regarding the secrets. Ikkai is like one time, and then ni, I suppose, is like for one time, perhaps. Mitsu zutsu, three each. I, I guess maybe zutsu is combining them together. So for each one time, three secrets. Maybe. I think I need a Japanese teacher myself, to be honest. I need to check all this stuff. Oshiete ageru wa. So yeah, oshiete ageru, just obviously she's considering herself lower than us in the hierarchy, which is grammatically what you have to do now anyway. And so she's saying ageru because she will see herself as doing a favor to someone who is above her in the hierarchy. That is us. Although obviously that's not conscious. It's probably not even really. The Japanese probably aren't even so aware of it in a way, actually. It's just so grammatically ingrained now that it's just default to do this. So they probably don't think about it much. But yeah, I think it's worth explaining to Japanese learners because it's weird. So she's saying, "Sore wo yoku oboete oite ne." Oh no, we've got oku. Um, so sore referring to the secrets, I guess. Those yoku oboete oite ne. Yoku means like well, basically, effectively. It's the adjective form of yoi. And so she's saying, yeah, yoku oboete oite ne. So well, learn or memorize. And what you can do in Japanese, which I know uh, like English learners find kind of difficult to grasp, even though they kind of shouldn't, is you can put oku onto the end of te form verbs, and it means that it means that you do the verb in preparation for an upcoming event, or in just in preparation before something happens, or in case something happens. It's in preparation for the future. um but we don't really do that in English. We just say uh well, let's translate this sort of in the Japanese way first. So it's like, those well learn for the future, okay? Whereas in English, we would just say learn them well or remember them well. We wouldn't specify that, you know, we wouldn't explicitly state to learn them well for use in the future. We wouldn't do that, but they do in Japanese. Um, and you can also use it, you know, when you say you will do something, you might say, for example, uh, what's a good example? I don't really know actually. What's a good example? I don't know. Maybe like don't know, man. I don't know. But you can sort of just put oite on there. I'm trying to think when you might say it. Maybe shkudai will shtoku. Sorry, that's more confusing probably. Shkudai will shite oku, which is like, you know, I will do my homework in preparation for when it's kind of needed in the future. But yeah. Um shite oku. And this is just the way it conjugates to the te form, because it's oboete oku, it's oboete oite is the te form of that. So yeah. Anyway, probably said enough about that. Whoa, that ended quickly. Kitto ato de yaku ni tatsu kara. Okay, so now she's telling us why we would want to learn them so well. It's because she's saying, for sure, later on, uh, they will stand to a role, or less literally, they will be helpful. Kara. And then kara just being because they will be helpful later for sure. Wakatta, just kind of, was that clear? Do you understand? Watashi wo mikaketara B botan yo. Okay, no probs. So mikakeru is like if you see, if you happen to see, kind of mikakeru is to happen to see someone, to happen to lay eyes on someone, I guess. Um, yeah, so if or when you happen to lay eyes on me, B button, press the B button. And I guess we will. Let's check out our first few secrets. This is going to have loads of crazy words in it, I bet. Guran chiruda wa fudan. I think that's just usually. Fudan is just standardly, I think. Usually, normally, yeah, that sort of thing. Grunty, normally. Uh, Namekuji no shiozuke. Namekuji no shiozuke? Aji no. Oh, it's a flavor. Aji means like flavor or taste. And then we've got no, which is going to link it to the noun that has the taste. But namekuji no shiozuke, I think shiozuke is like salted, like shio is salt, and zuke I think is like just yeah to have sort of added salt maybe. Namekuji, namekuji. Oh, slug. Christ. Okay, so namekuji is slug. No shiozuke aji, so it's like salt added to slugs, which obviously dissolves them up. Aji not. Oh God. Hamigaki wo tsukau no yo. So hamigaki is is toothpaste. Ha is your teeth, and migaku is the verb, the act of polishing, or like polishing or refining or yeah, polishing. So it's tooth polisher, I suppose. Um, yeah, so it's toothpaste, tooth polisher. And scour is to use. So yeah, she uses like oh my god, like salted slug flavor toothpaste. I don't want to go too far. Oh, then again, I suppose I could just talk to her again. So shit, jump. Oh, shampoo. Sorry, shampoo. That just looks like the word jump, but it doesn't have a dakuten on the sha. So I read it wrong. So shite shampoo no kawari ni. Kawari, like no kawari ni is like as an alternative to or instead of, basically. Soshite just kind of means like furthermore or and. Um, it might even be like like a continua. I wonder if it's like a continua of actions. So the first one was the toothpaste thing. So she uses toothpaste, and then I wonder sometimes if solste is like solste, which would be like having done so, having done so. So it's sort of like an order, like a temporal order. Like she continues having done that, she does this now. But I might be wrong. It might just be and. Shampoo no kawari ni. So instead of shampoo, uh, kogeta mame no supu. Kogeta mame no supu. Kogeta. Is that like burnt? Yeah, kogeru, to burn, to be burned. So kogeta mame, that's beans, isn't it? I suppose it could be loads of things. Um, yeah, I don't know really. Kogeta mame. Could try and look that up. That might be a noun somehow. No. What does mame mean? It could be beans. I feel like that's not really unpleasant enough though. There's kidney. Apparently, kidney is one possible translation of mame. Soya bean, peas, beans. I don't know. Maybe it's just beans. Yeah. Kogeta mame no soup. So burnt bean soup. O 使っているわ。使っているわ. So kind of this is like in this case this isn't really present continuous. This is like kind of long-term continuous. This is like she is using, like in the long term she uses um burnt uh burnt pea soup, burnt bean soup instead of shampoo, and then she's going yeah, like kind of a just gagging sort of noise, or a disgusted noise. それからグランチルダは yeah, It's Sorikara like from that? It literally is, but I think it's just it might just be and again, or it might be having done that from that, from doing that. Granchiru da wa Granty za gomi bako departo. Okay, well, za is the. That's how they say the in Japanese. So it's English. It's an English word. It's the word the, but written as za. Za gomi bako, and gomi bako is a trash box or rubbish box, which is a bin or trash can. Uh, yeah, gomi bako. Yeah, it's yeah, it's a trash can or a bin. Departo. Departo is short for department store. They say departo. Uh, de fuku o kao no yo. So this is at the location mentioned. At the location, the 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 trash can department store. Fuku o kao no yo. Kao is to buy. Fuku is clothes, so she buys her clothes from the trash can department store. I don't know what that is in English because it's a British game. I don't know if they what did they call it? Wouldn't have called it like wheelie bin. I think they would have probably Americanized it because obviously the audience in the US would be a lot bigger. I think so. Maybe the trash can. I don't know. All right, cool. Let's just continue on a bit. I'm going to just get to the world entrance, I suppose. But Grunty might talk to us on the way, so we might have more to translate. Yeah. Okay, maybe not. So that'll be that then. Yeah, if you liked this, please like it. Sub if you want. Thanks to my patrons. Thanks to you for watching. Hope it's been worth it, and I'll see you next time.